Most business owners are running their business hoping that they're going to make more than last month in revenue, and that's why they're stuck. There's no clear revenue goals. So let's talk about why revenue matters. Instead of having no idea where your business is going or what you're trying to get at, you have a goal that you're aiming for. You have a clear definition. It helps you make decisions about hiring, about marketing, about how you're spending, and it turns your big dreams about paying yourself, hiring help, expanding, creating a second location, third location, it puts real numbers in on these dreams. What happens when you don't have a target? You celebrate the sales, but you don't know if it's enough to pay your bills. You don't know if it's enough to actually grow, what percentage you're growing by. You end up reacting to the money instead of being proactive. So cash flow feels really unpredictable at this point with no clear goals in mind, specifically a revenue goal, which is what we're going to hit at today. The latest audiobook that I've been really all about. It's called Start the Work by Natalie Dawson, and it's how to duplicate yourself and scale your business. I love to read and discuss how to scale and duplicate yourself in your business. Books like Dan Martell's Buy Back Your Time and things that have to do with taking you, the CEO, out of the everyday grind. You should have a job description for yourself. You should know what you're doing when you're doing it. And you should be growing out of your role over and over and over again. And I've read this in multiple books and multiple courses and been practicing it myself, right? As soon as you can SOP something, that's when you should stop doing it. Somebody told me that, I don't know, a decade ago, and I live by those words. As soon as I can SOP something, it is no longer my job. Okay, so back to revenue and target, how to make a target for revenue in your business. I'm going to show you a literal 5-minute way of making a revenue target, and it's so funny. I wish I knew this back when I was a financial analyst for huge businesses. I spent countless hours and into the night, 10, 11 o'clock at night, doing forecasting and budgeting for gigantic businesses, talking to the CEOs, the CFOs, as a financial planner, as a financial analyst. And I literally spent all of my 20s doing this, and I wish I had just had this one simple calculation that I'm going to show you, that I'm going to give credit to, I'm still learning her, Natalie Dawson, for showing me, right? And she said it was her husband. So her and her husband seem like are a good team, and they, work with Grant Cardone and whatnot. So all big names that know how to make a lot of money, right? So let's copy those formats. Let's learn from those that we want to be more alike and just dive right in. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and this is also going to be a freebie down below. So you can click this. This is a Google Drive spreadsheet. So you're going to have to click edit the spreadsheet and just put in your numbers, and we're going to do an example together because I love to show you exactly what to do. I don't like to be so mysterious and give you these big ideas and then don't tell you exactly what to do, right? That drives me crazy. All right, so screen share, picture in picture. Okay, guys, this is the information that I learned from this book about how to create a revenue target. And I've done this a million different ways, the longest ways possible that take months. And then this is by far the shortest, quickest way. So I just want to share this one with you. Because I learned it and I love it and I'm implementing it in my own business. So let's talk about the revenue target and why we should have 3. So according to this book, we should have 3 different targets. We should have a low target, a medium target, and a high target. And the low target is the target that you're going to use to budget all of your expenses by, okay? The medium target is really there to help you create the high target. And then the high target is really going to be your growth rate. Like, how much are you planning to grow? How much do you want to grow this year? And that's the target that you're going to use to talk to your employees or yourself, or whatever size business you have. Doesn't matter if you're making $10,000 or $10 million. This is still extremely useful. The high target is what you're going to talk about. That's what's going to go on presentations. That's what's going to be discussed over and over and over. That's what your sales team is going to go for. They're never going to know the low target, but the low target is what your accounting team is going to use for budgeting your expenses. And I'll explain a little bit more about this. So let's get into the actual numbers. Let's throw an example in here. For the low target, so the green items are the calculations. We're going to put into the white. For the low target, we're going to add the 3 highest months of revenue over the past 12 months, divide by 3 and multiply by 12. Don't worry about all the math. I did it for you, which is one of my favorite things to do. So we're going to take the 3 highest months of revenue in the last 12 months for your business. Let's say it was $56,000 for 1 month. And again, it could be anything. So put in any numbers in here that are actually your numbers. Let's say $48,000. And then let's say you had a $53,000. Okay, so let's say for next year, your revenue target, the low target, is the average of the 3 highest months multiplied by 12, which is $628,000, right? So even if you don't make the high one, even the low target is still above what you did this year, and you're still looking at growth. Then the medium target is going to be your top revenue month multiplied by 12. So I'm going to look over here and pick the highest number, 56,000 multiplied by 12 is 672,000. So now here's where we get into the high target. The top revenue month, again, 56,000. And then we're going to select a growth rate. You're going to type, I need to make this white. Yeah. We're going to type in here. Sorry. You're going to type in here. It's not green, it's white. So this one, I'm going to do recommended, right? 50%. So many companies I've worked for my whole entire life. It's like you sit in the room, you do budgeting and forecasting for like 90 days, and then you're just making stuff up, and you do a increased revenue by 5%, 10%. What are your goals? Where do you want to be? Let's do 50%. If we do 50%, then we are going to grow in 2020, next year, whatever next year is for you, 336,000. And your total your high target is $1 million. Okay. Your low target, 628, your high is $1 million. Why not go for that target? I won't get on that soapbox right now. We're just doing a revenue target. So again, what do you do just to kind of summarize? You take your low target and you build your expenses and your budget based on your low target, which is still growth to prior year. And this is what your accounting team talks about, right? These numbers. And you get your high target and you build towards this number. It's such a beautiful thing. For this freebie, click the link below and let me know what else you want to talk about. I want to deep dive more into your numbers, talking to you from your CFO's perspective. I want to help you build. I want to help you grow. I want to help you understand your numbers to the extent that you should have these numbers in your mind. You should know what the highest months of revenue you've achieved, and this should be a guiding light towards the future. We don't want to go into next year without a goal, something set in mind. So if you thought this video was helpful, please give me a like, a comment, and subscribe. Send this to a friend that you know might benefit from it, and I look forward to another one later.